Erwin Rommel was a famous German soldier during World War II. He was born on November 15, 1891, in a small town in Germany. As a boy, Rommel loved the outdoors. He enjoyed hiking, climbing, and learning about the military. He was a very smart student, and many people noticed that he was good at sports and very disciplined. This helped him later in his military career. Rommel joined the German army in 1910. At first, he worked as an officer. He spent many years in different countries, learning about soldiers and battles. During World War I, he served in France and Romania. He became well known for his bravery and his ability to lead his soldiers. He was always with his men, even during the toughest moments of the war. He was also good at making quick decisions, which helped him win many battles. He received medals for his courage and leadership. After World War I, Rommel continued to work in the army. In the 1930s, he began to study new military techniques. He read many books about modern warfare, and he wanted to learn more about tanks and how to use them in battle. Tanks were a new kind of weapon, and Rommel believed that they would be important in future wars. He started to develop new ideas about how to use tanks and other vehicles in battles, which made him stand out as a leader. In the early years of World War II, Rommel became famous for his role in the North African campaign. In 1941, he was sent to North Africa to help the German army fight against the British. Rommel was given command of the Afrika Korps, a special unit of German soldiers trained to fight in the desert. The desert was a very difficult place to fight. The weather was hot, and the landscape was full of sand. But Rommel was very good at thinking fast and solving problems. He used his knowledge of tanks and mobile warfare to move quickly and surprise his enemies. Rommel's tactics were very different from other commanders. He did not like to stay in one place for too long. Instead, he moved his soldiers quickly and attacked when his enemies were not expecting it. This helped him win many important battles. One of his most famous victories was the Battle of Tobruk in 1942. The British Army had been holding a strong position in Tobruk, but Rommel's forces attacked and broke through their defenses. The British were forced to retreat, and Rommel's reputation as a brilliant commander grew even stronger. Rommel's success in North Africa made him very famous. People called him the Desert Fox because of his clever tactics in the desert. He became one of the most respected generals in the German army. However, his time in North Africa was not always easy. The British and their allies fought back hard. In 1942, Rommel was forced to retreat from Egypt because the British had received reinforcements and were able to push the Germans out of the area. Rommel's forces faced a lack of supplies and were weakened by the desert heat. It was a difficult time for Rommel, but he continued to fight bravely. Despite his losses in North Africa, Rommel's skill as a commander earned him a reputation across the world. In 1943, he was called back to Europe. The German army was fighting on many fronts, and Rommel was sent to help in France. The Allied forces were preparing to invade France, and Rommel was put in charge of defending the French coast. He worked hard to build up defenses, placing mines and other obstacles along the beaches. Rommel knew that the Allies would try to land by sea, and he wanted to make it as difficult as possible for them. On June 6, 1944, the Allies launched a large invasion of France, known as D-Day. Rommel had prepared for this moment, but the invasion was much bigger than he had expected. The Allies landed on the beaches of Normandy, and the fighting was intense. Rommel had a difficult job because his forces were outnumbered and outgunned. The Allies had strong air support and many soldiers. Rommel did his best to organize the German defense, but the battle was tough, and the Allies were able to break through. Rommel's ability to think quickly and adapt to the situation was important during this time. However, the invasion was a turning point in the war. The Allies began to push the German army back, and Rommel's forces were slowly defeated. Despite this, Rommel continued to fight until he was seriously injured in July 1944. He was hit by a bomb while traveling in his car, and the injuries were so severe that he had to go home to recover. Rommel's story did not end with his injuries. In the same year, there was an important event in Germany. A group of German officers tried to kill Adolf Hitler, the leader of Germany. Rommel was not involved in the plan, but some people thought he knew about it. The plot to kill Hitler failed, and the officers who were part of it were punished. Rommel was forced to take responsibility for not stopping the plot, and he was given a difficult choice. He could either face trial and punishment, or he could end his life. Rommel chose to end his life on October 14, 1944. Erwin Rommel is remembered as one of the greatest military leaders of World War II. His skill and courage in battle made him a legend. Even though he fought for Germany, he was respected by his enemies, especially the British. His ability to think quickly, adapt to new situations, and use his soldiers effectively made him a great commander. Rommel's story is one of bravery, leadership, and dedication to his country.